you. Thank you.
Guys, let's start it off right. Who's going to give us the first quote of the morning?
Gotcha. Life is continuously being hungry. The meaning of life is not simply to exist or to survive, but to move ahead, to go up, to achieve, to conquer. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Is that the Terminator?
Yes, him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely someone that has achieved a lot in his lifetime, not for nothing, but also performed at a very high level. You know, there's a story that I was recently reading about the Terminator, right, or Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's going back into Hollywood, but he didn't ask to be, put on a pedestal like other actors who put on previously, right? He didn't look at his previous resume, so he's starting at the bottom. He's taking on whatever role he possibly can take on so that he can get back into Hollywood as an A-list star. And whether that story is true or not, right? I just love the thought of it, to be honest with you, because it goes right along with that quote. Continuous action, continuous activity, making sure that you just participate in your own success. So I love that quote. Drop that quote inside a Telegram so that they can live with us forever.
Got it.
Thank you. Who's next, guys?
All right, I'll go.
Let's get it.
We are up to number 14. Okay, the thing sales rep shouldn't do. Hold on. I lost you. Okay. Not understanding their bottom line. Making a sale isn't the end all, be all. The deal has to be mutually beneficial to both parties. And that means not compromising on price or payment terms to a point where you're harming your company. Be accommodating where you can and help your buyer out if they're genuinely willing to commit to a purchase. But don't agree to terms that are so far from your company's bottom line that you'd be better off walking away. That's it.
Great. Give us some context now.
Okay. Well, if you're yesing a customer to death with everything they want, especially the price, and then you can't deliver, well, that it's going to, obviously we can't do anything with the price. We don't have that. We're not talking to this kind of company. But if you promise them the world and then you can't come true at the end, you're going to lose the deal anyway. So you might as well be upfront, transparent, and tell them the way it is, and make sure that you're talking about the benefits of the product you're selling.
Yeah. This is a big hurdle for a lot of people. Over promising, and can't deliver. But your validity is constantly in question, and you're going to put yourself in a bad space if you can't be who you say you are, especially in sales, guys, because it's such an amazing job that we have to do in terms of persuading people. And we oftentimes ride a fine line of lying, right? And, the great ones, they stay far away from that line. They don't have to, they can honestly, as much as we need to agree with the customer, they can honestly say no to the benefit of the customer to make sure that they understand that they're dealing with someone that won't compromise themselves just to get a sale. And once the customer knows that, they're definitely going to make sure that they take care of you, right? And treasure you so you can sell them over and over and over again, because they know that you don't toe that line, not when it comes to your integrity as a salesperson. So I love it. Drop it inside a Telegram. We need it.
Ron, you remember back in the day? No, you do. You're old as me. They used to say they selling your dreams.
Yep.
That's what they used to say when the salesman come around, said, trying to sell me your dreams. My stepfather definitely did not like no salesman.
No one did. This wasn't a cool profession for a very long time, and not for nothing, but it's still not a cool profession. I think we make it look a lot sexier than it really is in most terms. I can see from the way people join the company and then run away from the company so fast, right? They get totally terrified, like, what, a salesman? You know, it was a car salesman that had the negative connotation first and foremost. And, you know, any type of salesman, to be totally honest with you, you know, people don't even say that they're in sales anymore. And for me, I just think that that is a huge disrespect to this business, especially when you're trained and you're professional and you're giving people such a benefit, right? Because you know, I see it every day. I see how many people say thank you and they appreciate us at their door. But being a salesman isn't easy, right? It still isn't to this day. No.
Sure ain't.
But to a lot of people's benefit, you know, selling is life. All right, guys, who's next? Misha, you up.
All right. When you get into a tight place and everything seems to, okay, when you get into a tight place and everything goes against you, never give up then, for that is just a place and a time that the tide will turn. Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Have your B chest out?
That's the person's name.
Oh,
Harriet Beecher Stowe.
Oh,
okay.
I missed that too. I was like, huh?
Yeah, it came together on us. Okay, so listen, let me ask you, why does that resonate with you this morning?
Because they said, like I'm reading this book, Winner. They said if you go to hell and you stop there, you're gonna be stuck in hell. You gotta go through the hell and keep going through it. And that's when you're gonna get past the tide. And then better days have to come.
Yeah, right on, right on. Tim Grover is the man, right? Dealing with that mental stability. There's a lot of good gems inside of that book, and that's just definitely one of them. So thank you for sharing that with us. Drop that inside of Telegram so that we can all live with that today. All right, guys, that does it for our morning motivation quotes. Woo, woo, woo. And this is the record on trainer.
What you lose?
No, I have it. I have it out. You know, I got caught up in looking at possibly what we can go into next. All right, so for the next minute and 29 seconds, after I share my screen, of course. Now. Next minute and 29 seconds. Let's train.
Consider this: leads who are sent 3 or more text messages after the initial contact are 328% more likely to convert. 3 or more text messages after the initial contact. This cell phone thing, smartphone, texting is a powerful, powerful tool for you. It's a weapon that nobody knows about, nobody's using, and I'll bet it's the first time you've heard about it. Now we need to kick your numbers up, and we need to add speed. Leads sent 3 or more text messages. Need some variety, need to schedule them out. Could be now, next, next. I've done them that quick. You'll have a 328% more likely chance of converting that lead than somebody that's not doing this activity. So how could I do that? Somebody hit your site about something, or they called you about something they're interested in, or they came in and they didn't buy from you. By literally texting them content rather than email and rather than a phone call, texting them 3 different pieces of content, you increase your likelihood of converting that lead. Taking texting serious yet? Now speed, now variety, we're going to put them all together. Here's the facts you needed. Now that you have those, let me bring you into the other chapters where I can show you the exact skills, the frequency, the strategies, and the scripts, as well as what you'll say in each of these follow-ups.
All right.
Consider this: leads who are sent 3 or more text messages.
The most powerful follow-up tool quiz. Let's get to it. All right, guys. True or false? Brent thinks that text messages are an invasive form of follow-up and should not be used regularly. Is this true or false?
False.
What 2 things are important to follow up that Grant mentions at the end of this segment? Is it A, ability and dedication? Is it B, speed and variety? Is it C, contacts and dialogue? Or is it D, creativeness and attitude?
B.
B.
2B. What you say, Mickey?
B.
B all day. Let's get it. All right. Question number 3. Which powerful tool does Grant discuss utilizing in this segment? Is it A, texting, B, emails, C, phone calls, D, social media?
Texting.
Texting.
A.
Although he said all forms, I don't know. Texting. Let's see.
A.
All right. I think we got a good shot with A. All right, guys, it's time for the results. Drum roll, please. Yes. All right. Great for our self-esteem. What did we learn though?
Follow up, follow up, follow up. Because they said no doesn't mean you can't get the sale.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing specific about this follow-up is texting though, you know, that I learned this morning, right? And it kind of shows me how powerful text messaging is. Now, I know how important it is to save the customer's name, right? That's always been a big deal for us, meaning making sure that when they call us back that we can call their name. I know how important it is to actually give them a follow-up call. You know, now I'm starting to realize how important it is for them to text, right? For us to text our customer. Grant says that 3 times texting a customer. That's almost harassment. Does it feel like harassment to you when you text somebody 3 times? Maybe they haven't responded, but you text them 3 different times?
Hell no.
But you text them 3 different things. He said, don't send them the same thing. Make it 3 different texts. Don't.
Right. 3 forms of information. I mean, three different forms of information.
Right. So maybe they won't feel so harassed if you send me the same thing over and over, I'm just going to delete you. But that's how Grant works it. He'll send you something with a captivating title to it when you first see it, and then you click on it before you know it, you be like, dog it. Some more of this.
Again. Got me again, right? Always some information. Every piece of information that he can think of to give to you, he is giving it to you. He really is. Right. So I love that about him. Absolutely. Right. So we can definitely take a page out of his book on that. Anything else that anybody learn?
That we do this as soon as we make the initial contact with them. Soon after we make that initial contact, we start sending them texts. And that's how we get that 328% lead.
Absolutely. Guys, with that being said, I'm thankful for this little bit of training that we had this morning. These are powerful tools for our tool belt. So let's just make sure that we deploy them correctly. Great job, guys.